know what is happening reminds me of one minister. Ministers, they rely heavily on their support staff. So for speech preparation, packaging of the speech and stuff like that. And the minister of that day happened not to have seen eye to eye with the PA. And the PA was the one that was going to package the speech of the minister. So the PA packaged it. The first page, there was salutations, program director, and so on. And the next page, because the minister had not to have checked the speech, he just left the file in the office. Then he went to the this was in Canada, but not in I'm delaying, I'm accommodating. But the guy is throwing to the spare. So the minister got to the place, put the file in front of him, started to read. The first page was okay. The second page, it was written in bold letters to say, on your own. I'm told that computers they speak. It's a coincidence, it's not that I did not have hands I'm telling this story. So, but then the minister being the minister was able to say, no, let's talk about it. Why are you on your own? So it became a discussion, a very successful discussion. I think the minister benefited more than what it was going to be when he read from the speech, and people were interacting. It was a very successful kind of an engagement with that particular Yes, I didn't know tradition. I'm sure my just your time. We do have a 5-year communication strategy, but every year we do what we call a communication plan to say what is it that you want to communicate in that particular year. But in the 5-year communication strategy, we have got programs that represents the government. The process starts with the GCIS, which is located within the Office of the President. GCIS will stand for Government Communication Information System. They are the custodians of the national government communication strategy. They will first develop the communication strategy that they will take to the cabinet for its approval. Once it is approved by cabinet, then all of us, government departments, being national and be it provincial, we will then derive our own provincial government communication strategy. In our province, the Office of the Premier will lead that process with all of us heads of communication being part of that. Once we have done the provincial communication strategy of the province that takes the provincial development goals and other priorities of the government at the provincial level, which they will have derived from the national one. After we have a provincial one, we then develop as departments our own. So we are presenting to you, wanting to indicate to you that we do have an approved Department of Education KZN communication strategy, which is a 5-year strategy which is in line with the political administration. And it is just so that next year is going to be the end of that administration when elections are being held. So that is why then our communication strategy will end in the month of elections. But for this financial year, like Mrs. Hazel was indicating, financial implications and stuff like that, we have indicated what is it that we want to achieve this financial year. For instance, other than we don't have programs of our own, but our responsibility is to communicate all the programs of the department. Hence our presence here to say this is what the department is doing in terms of induction for level 7 and 8. Last week there was another level and stuff like that. That is why Tabiso, after my presentation, will then beam to you to say these are our social media addresses so that you will see yourselves there. If you do follow us, yesterday we posted, and I was at home. I was able to see who is here and what kind of an audience that I'm going to be addressing today. Hence my being here. Otherwise, if the audience wasn't interested. Okay. So that will be the process then. Let's go to the slide. The one point that I want to take emphasis on will be establishing norms and standards in this slide. Why are we establishing norms and standards? The processes that I've alluded to will regulate that we have some standard operation in all the departments. Sis Hazel says we are all communicators. How we handle people, how we treat people, that is a communication. When they come to your office, how rough you are, how courteous you are to them, it represents the head of department. Did you hear that? Mm-hmm. But then the difference when it comes to communication as a science, as a discipline, as a directorate, is that you will have designated people that are appointed to speak on behalf of the department. It's no longer all of us that can speak, but all of us, through our good work, we are communicators. If we work badly, people will say, I went to the office, Laga communication, Laga HR, they could not assist me and stuff like that, We deal with a lot of queries from public through our call center. And people, the things that they say about us, because it's about us, are not at times very encouraging how we handle people. More especially colleagues that are dealing with pension. It's very important that we be sensitive that one day ourselves will be pensioners. This thing of it becoming a norm, that people, when they retire, when they resign, it will take months for them to get their payout, but others it takes a week. I don't know what is it that they do to facilitate that, but stories do come to us. And can you imagine if a person retires at 65, most of those people at that age, they've got many chronic sicknesses, and they will go for months without a medical aid. They will say, department, you can keep my money, but just give me something to keep my medical aid going. And we do know that as we enjoy the chronic medication every month, we don't feel it because we have a medical aid, but go and buy it cash. And this is what we do to elderly people to say for months they can't access there are chronic diseases that when you have not taken your medication one day, no one must tell you, the body will tell you that you have not taken your medication. Masizoba abo mama bethu bathi hey sengiphathwe ikhanda angaphuzanga amapilisi ashukela. Yileyo nto kufanele uyicabange nami osebenza lapha ukuthi kusho ukuthi lo muntu engimdile yayo njengoba ngihlale ngizuma ethi aningilethile amapilisi mase ngilethile amapilisi abe right. What I'm using it as an example to say all of us are communicators, but then it will be setting the standards, because why selected people must speak on behalf of the department, so that we don't put the department into disrepute, so that we are held accountable. It will be known that the chief communicator will be the MEC, followed by the HOD, followed by DTGs, and then they will be followed by chief directors and directors depending on the issue at hand. Ubabumthetho, for instance, many or several times we have taken him to radio stations to speak on governance and admission issues. If we need to have a finance person, because they will tell us, because we can't pretend as if we are specialists for all directorates. We have done it with Muzi to go and speak spelling bee and stuff like that. We do know spelling bee, but at an artificial level. But when we sense that they are going to have questions that we need deeper knowledge of it, we then send them. So when they are there, we have a process that with the HOD, and HOD has given a nod to say they must go there. I will be you will not be sensitive of this thing. The spinning, how we do the spinning, how we defend the department, how we what. You will expose us. You know, and some of the principals, they like media. They do know that you must not do that, but they will go there and rob them and say, no, this is a good story. You know, media will say, hey, Tishonku, we are doing very well. For the last 10 years, we are getting 100%. What will happen? You see, the approach is a very positive one. But when you are there, they will ambush you with other questions. They will say, what do you say about the department not supplying every school with adequate textbooks? And it is so clear on that we are passing. So yaqala usho izinto lapha yaqala HOD ubhalele incwadi ukuthi who had sanctioned you number 1 to go there. What do you say about the damage that you have done now to the department? Ayokhuluma into ongazazi. Nami bayangibuza ngithi angimazi ukuthi shonke nami ngizwile Muzo nje sekhuluma nokhosini wathi no lento ye department iyabheda oqala nje abasini nama norms and standard. Mina uthe makufuneka ama norms and standard ivela kumida inquiry. Ngaya ku Hazel, ngaya ku CFO. Wangichazela uCFO ukuthi ithini situation. So kwakho kumchazela situation ayeke lapho. Mina mase bengibuza sengiyakwazi ukuchaza i-situation ngendlela le ozothi noma umuntu elalele abone no i-department khona into eyenzayo. Usitshelile for instance ukuthi masihola ngesikweletu sa4 million every month. But namasengilapho bathi manje amasala othisha kanjani ngithi uyabona njengoba sinabasebenzi aba 110,000 eminyangweni singakaze sizwe nje beteleka into abayikhalela nje abasebenzi ukuthi bafanele bakhushulele, but ke siyazi ngesimo se-economy eSouth Africa ukuthi sinjani. Angisho ngombe ukuthi sifola ngekweletu. So akekho umuntu ozothi kanti akho DA nani yasizakala ngaleso sikhathi. But makuye wena uzothi ngimzwile usiseze uthe one day sizongahola. Iyangwarisha mina msakazi. Ushilo kambe 21 July mhlawumbe ibhedi yalo wayalo khuluma ukuthi hawu ungqondo kusho ukuthi sesizothola wena njani and yazi mabefuna indaba sebezofonela wena akwazi ukuthi uyavuza. So usiseze lesithatha into confidence that all of us must be aware of what is happening. She even made an appeal of that you can take for granted to say, take it inside because lezo sihlalo sizonethwa and the next thing officially utifundisa isihlalo. Whereas fanele sikhethe manje uthenga isihlalo nomholela wena ngesikoleti. Yeah, we are saying these are the objectives. In the interest of time, is that e-communication is coordinated. It does not happen by chance. For instance, Usis Dudu, who was the organizer of this event, had to engage me to say, this is what we are having. She gave me a brief, and then we'll need coverage of your people. My team will then be briefed to say this is the request, team so and so, go and cover this. As they are seated there, they are writing. They are not just taking photos, what, they are writing. So that when, in the evening, after he has presented the social media platform, you'll be able to then go in and see what is it that was happening. You will see there will be a very long caption that gives somebody who was not here what is it that was happening. We don't just put photos and stuff like that. The last one, enforcing corporate identity. For instance, in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, if you see Gauteng basebenzisa blue. If you go to Western Cape, basebenzisa blue. If you come to province of KwaZulu-Natal, we have to be uniform. There is even a document that prescribes ukuthi mawukhuluma ngoyellow bawusho ngama, what do you call these numbers akhona lezi ukuthi mawumixa lo angithi ukubona mawupenda nakwakho moye makho usufuna ukuvuselela la bakubuza ukuthi upende kwakuyini bese uyasho usho ne number yakhona mabashaya lapho bazoyithola leyo and then they will mix the same pad. It's cheaper phela ukuvuselela upende khona lokushintsha amakhala ufaka uphila ufaka umbanda. Nathi ngifuna ukushintsha upende khona upende nganothando onelighter note awubona ngihamba nengane nkosikazi omunye umuzi nathi nalo upende ngifunayo. But ngangilonga uchaza ngawuchazi kahle no. But you mean this note angibanga ngizawuthanda ukuthi ngopendo note bazothanda mabehle stupid basicela behlala kulemuzo note. So what also we must do Sisbusi is to have a uniform, which I have tried, but we must retry and try. To have even our presentations, when you have our presentation, we must use a uniform slide. People who go to DBE will see whosoever presents is the same slide and same everything. So, any ikhuluma leyo nama senior managers, but what we can do thina singaqala thina so that now babone ukuthi ayikho lento if people that we supervise are doing the correct thing bese bayenza ke nabo okumthetho koya lapha government. Yeah, we are saying ukuthi these are the strategies that we are using in order to achieve what we want to achieve. For instance, there's bullet 3, which is communication research, because we don't even have a research directorate in the department. We're a Department of Education without a research directorate. I have engaged someone to say, the office that HOD almost every month we keep it mad. Zabantu kufanele bayenza ama research. Graduate abantu sibabona every day graduate. They post on Facebook. But if you go back to the very same office that HOD and say what were the dissertations and the theses that the people did research about the department, because by school we have participate about the department. Ekugcineni also learn information yenzakala sisizakala ngani si department, because wonke umuntu problematize statement sakhe about an issue afuna kwe research and department. The department benefita kanjani out of that. So we're speaking about doing research. So we don't have the capacity of the traditional research as you will understand it. What we do, we scan the environment to say what is the mood of the environment and how we handle it. All of you are aware that we were under the bus with the school nutrition thing, and we had to come up with a strategy how we handle it. Some of you were saying department is quiet about this thing. It was not quiet. It was a calculative quiet or a calculated quietness. Yeah. There is communication when it is the crisis time. Crisis management has got its own communication strategy and stuff like that. Generally, school nutrition is okay. And the manner in which it was happening, people thought maybe the department was going to close down. It was the end of times, not Matthew 24 had come. Then the developing and maintaining the KwaZulu-Natal website, social media platform, you will see that our website, even if it's not up to scratch in terms of look and feel, but it has the real-time content. It's now being updated. You go to our social media, they are being updated. Speaking about social media, we want to warn colleagues to say there's nothing like it's my personal Facebook. Your personal Facebook must contain and continue to do personal things. But the moment you go to your personal Facebook and speak about things that are happening in the department, it's a problem. One, you don't have a mandate to speak about the department. You can't speak about the department if you speak about good things. We will condone that. We will condone that wrong. But the moment you go and say the department does not pay our overtime, 7 were not paid overtime, then you are speaking about the department. It's no longer personal. So ngena futhi siphendule kulelo page lakho futhi sitshela to wrong kanjani bese siceba futhi HOD ukuthi namo ebringa department to distribute. So as long as you are employed, as long as your PESAL number is active, you can't go to your personal page and do departmental comment or raise a departmental issue. Even government general, not normal. If there is a veto, president, I can't share it. I share by him. Number one, the following evening, the one by us, selling found better wrong language. Now, what the man about president share, no man is sharing about individual. but I can't publicly go and say, I'm going to President Durban, I want to now go to President Durban. Protected peasant number, yeah. If you're reckless, the peasant number, yeah. You go to the man. Oh, yeah. It's not that. Now, I'm strategies inside to promote what the department is doing. But they are radio adverts. Citizens and dialogue, but when you say for a capacity decline, citizens are my request. So when I'm a department, I'm advert, non department, but departments are my so full. So there's another income. 3 days, advertisement. Then I'm going I need my job to use our name. Obama's name, common as his name. Yeah, but 11. What the mayor is a local. There's a thing about says and she passes about 120. But no advert. So the name was about attended at the ICC meeting. Out of 120 about passing, about 114 was about passing. Let's say come on free state. Now about 11,000. I do number one. If I'm telling you, I will promote online. So what else was that? So what ends up happening is that we depend on bullet number 4, which is digital media, our videos and stuff like that. For instance, the report of last month, June alone, through our social media put together, we had a reach of over 8 million. In this time, it's in social media. So we use below the line market. Below the line market is a market that is cheaper than the traditional one, which is direct and personal. That is why wherever we have an event, we advertise our social media platform, and our social media platform is growing. Now Amanda Memela or responsible for developing that report. And they will tell me every month we have a growth of about subscribers to our social media that are more than 2,000 every month. So, but it is programs like this, more especially when what we have done now, we have moved away from only profiling the MEC and the HOD. We have now said, no, every event, every work of the department is important. And that is why you get so interested when you see yourselves in this thing. Photographers, please make it a point that before we leave here, you have taken photos of all the rows. Because people, it must be not some, because people must not say, but Mina, I was also here and I was sitting just next to him. If only the photographer had moved, I was going to be appearing. So please ensure, because people like to see themselves in pictures. People, some of them, but it becomes evidence. So these are the things that we are highlighting, that we are using to identify ourselves as a department, to say it can't be an event of a department. Ebesinazi abantu bayithandanga abanye bayashuta kuyona, so nani ke during break or what ngibonile nshuta vele kuyona, so it's okay. We can move on. We can afford to skip this one. Yeah, as we conclude that in a communication about, so because it's kind of funa vele communicate usizo ungasizwa ma usizo to drive akuda uzibebethe uqashile ekhaya we conclude with this phrase to say pigs or it didn't happen. If no evidence of our work is documented, then none of it ever happened. Hence, we are here to cover this event so that whosoever is coordinating these things, ETTBC is able to even provide the evidence to say we did conduct induction workshop for this and that. Sean. Thank you.